Welcome to Strange Planet. I saw it. No, not just it anything, but it. It was again. It's this. It's bad. Okay, as you know, the movie It was based on the Stephen King novel that came out in 1986, and then it came out in 1990 as a miniseries with your favorite actor and mine, Tim Curry, who was one of the greats. He did a great job in being Pennywise the Clown. For those of you who remember that one, that was a creepy miniseries. Crazy, right? But it also had John Ritter. Remember John Ritter from Three's Company? He was in it. God rest his soul. This remake or revision of Stephen King's classic was directed by Andy Muschietti. I have to read it because it's hard for me to get names right. It takes a lot for somebody to admit their faults. It was released by New Line Cinema and it came out this weekend, and I'm gonna tell you, I liked it. It was so much fun to watch. I went to see it in the movie theater with my wife, and you know what's crazy? People were cheering, people were jumping, people were scared, people were like losing their minds, and people were shouting at the screen. I felt like a teenager again. I felt like, again, I was in a movie theater watching a movie the way a movie should be watched, you know, with a little bit of crowd interaction and people laughing or you know, whatever. You know, the movie wasn't like scary. Like it didn't like make your heart, my heart rate didn't go up. It didn't go up. There were creepy moments. There were moments that were like scared. Now, you know, let's, for those of you who are not that familiar with it, let me run it down. It is the story of a group of preteens, like middle school age kids, that each of them have their own issues and each of them have their own difficulties and burdens and real deep stuff. This movie's rated R, okay? Rated R. Parents, watch your kids. What happened was that one of the kids tapped into the history of the town because he was the new kid on the block. I'll just leave it at that. And what he discovered was that every 27 years, there seems to be some kind of a mass disappearance that goes back hundreds of years of a group of people, namely children, were taken or vanished. And either their remains were found or they weren't found at all. And it's always a mystery. And for some weird reason, the town always stays hush-hush about it because they're thinking if they're just quiet, it'll just go away. It doesn't go away. It really doesn't. Seriously. Eventually, these young people get together and they end up, fighting against it. The biggest thing, and this is all over the novels and it's all over, this movie capitalizes not only on the personal lives of these young folk, but it also capitalizes on the concept of there is nothing to fear but fear itself. I know it's a cliche, but this movie brings that into more deeper focus. I was very impressed by the cinematography. I was very impressed by the imagery. I was very impressed by how scary it came out to be. Like it was something that gripped these young kids, and they had to like band together in order to fight against it, because it was scary. Not only was it scary, it will kill you. Not only that, it kind of fed on your soul. It fed on your soul big time. I mean, you kind of see that manifest itself eventually in the film. They eventually find a way to defeat it. Now, what's different about this movie as opposed to the 1990 miniseries that was aired on television is that unlike the 1990 series, it didn't focus on these people as adults. In the 1990 series, you see kind of both situations. You see them when they're adults, and then you see the flashback of when they were kids, when they first encountered it. And then they make an oath that if it ever comes back, they'll get back together to fight it. It really sucks to have to return to that kind of nightmare. And a nightmare it was. Not only was it a nightmare for those who, had to experience it, but you saw how I did that, right? It. Okay. I just say it and it comes up. The actual name of it is Pennywise, the Dancing Clown. Okay? And of course, being a clown, some people are scared of clowns. And one thing that Stephen King did in this novel is definitely bring in the whole concept of the scary clown. The film ends with the concept that it's going to go into a sequel. So in a couple more years, get ready for It Chapter 2. It's gonna happen. It has to happen. I give this movie 4 coffee cups in the horror and coffee franchise. 4 coffee cups. It had great taste. It had great brew. And my goodness, where's my coffee cup? Right? Oh, snap. 4 coffee cups I give it. The cinematography was awesome. The delivery was great. The character development was awesome for these young people. These are young stars. One of them actually is in Stranger Things, which is quite an interesting thing because Stranger Things is also based on a Stephen King novelization. So there you go. When you go see it, enjoy it. Expect to be jumped, expect to be startled, expect to be scared, expect to laugh, and there's some funny moments in this. Keep in mind, this movie, the setting is in the late 80s, early like 89, 90, something like that. And it's pretty cool. The soundtrack is pretty awesome, actually. Caught a few songs there. I was like, get out of here, they put that there. So have you seen it so far? What are your thoughts? Talk to me. Let me know in the comments, and I will be so inclined to reply to you. So this is Ralph Perez from Strange Planet NYC Horror and Coffee Wide Range Media Podcast. Take care.